What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft, how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Shalom, family. Good to see everyone. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about Andy Beshear, the Kentucky governor that's been calling for Mitch McConnell to speak up or do a video talking or something to let everybody know he's still with us. Mitch has been gone for 42 days without anybody hearing a peep out of him. Yes, all these Republicans talking about they spoke to him. I don't believe none of them. I think they're all lying. They know damn well they ain't speak to no damn Mitch McConnell. So anyway, y'all, all the pictures, because it's really weird because all of the pictures, he's sitting there in the bed. You don't see him hooked up to any monitors. You don't see him hooked up to nothing. You don't even see an IV in his arm. Nothing, and that in itself, why would you still be in a hospital if you don't require anything and you're just sitting there? So anyway, the governor is pretty much saying, either speak to your constituents and speak up or resign, because Kentucky deserves representation. That's what he's pretty much saying. And Mitch ain't much of a representation. All he does is sit in his position and undermine everyone except for us. Everybody he undermines, and he really sticks it to us for real. So, look, 42 days, think about that. If you had a job and you just dropped off the radar for 42 days, you wouldn't have a job anymore. You wouldn't have any job. Y'all set bad examples. You really do. And what is the point of not announcing if a person is no longer here? If they're not, they're not. Life goes on. And their excuse is they don't want a Democrat to take over his seat. Well, how you going to do that if he's in the grave? It's not like the Republicans are doing that well in the midterms anyway. But I think his seat to them is important. So they want it to stay Republican. But I don't know how I don't see how you can do this in the long term. So if it's 42 days now, pretty soon it's going to be 60 days and then 80 days. I mean, come on. If the man is not here, he's just not here. Okay? He's just not here. Plain and simple. He ain't Superman. Of course, he's going to go to the graveyard one day. He's 84 years old. So, now all this new stuff is coming out, talking about, oh, his polio got worse and all that. I said, y'all done changed the story on this man 90 times. Didn't he suffer a heart attack or a cardiac arrest? And now his polio is acting up. Y'all just announced the man gone already. For real. So anyway, y'all, let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here. The Crawford Experience. Thank you for the 10 jewels gold coin and the Crawford Experience. Thank you for the 20-month membership. Mitch Freeze is in the freeze right now, in the freezer right now. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I tell you what, wherever he is, he's unable to speak because he has not spoken in 42 days. And it makes me laugh, all these Republicans. I spoke to him the other day. And I said, I know y'all lying. I know y'all lying. Y'all ain't telling the truth. You ain't speak to no damn Mitch McConnell. Who are you fooling? Okay. But y'all so used to lying, I guess it comes as second nature. Okay, please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Just about an hour ago, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear again called for Senator Mitch McConnell to directly and verbally address the people of his state or resign. Take a listen.
I hope his health is improving. But if he can have a 17 minutes conversation with his protege, he can call into any of your news stations for 3. All we're asking is just a little bit of proof. And I get that everybody wants a certain level of privacy, but when you run for these jobs, you know you're giving some of that up. All we're asking is what anybody who watches your news, if they were out 6 weeks, they'd be expected to call their boss, that's the people of Kentucky, and explain what's going on and when they'll get back to work.
McConnell released a new statement and photo yesterday saying he's still recovering from the fall that put him in the hospital 6 weeks ago. His doctor said he's not yet medically cleared to return to work.
Governor Andy Beshear is again demanding answers about Senator Mitch McConnell's health, this time calling on him to speak directly to Kentuckians or resign. In letters to McConnell and Senate Majority Leader John Thune, Beshear says more than 6 weeks have passed since McConnell was hospitalized. He claims the senator has cast no votes, taken part in no official activities, and has not spoken directly to Kentuckians. He says if McConnell does not show he can still serve, Thune should investigate his condition and determine whether a Senate vacancy is warranted. Meanwhile, McConnell remains in rehab after a June 14th fall left him briefly unconscious. The Capitol's attending physician says McConnell is undergoing several physical therapy sessions a day and has not been cleared to return to work. McConnell's office released this new photo with his wife, Elaine Chao, taken Sunday. The senator says he's working hard to return, adding, quote, "As always, I appreciate all of your continued well wishes, and I'm looking forward to getting back to the Senate and to Kentucky soon." McConnell will miss this weekend's Fancy Farm picnic.
While McConnell won't be there, Fox 56 News will once again take you to the annual Fancy Farm Picnic. The Western Kentucky tradition is best known for its political speeches, and the crowd isn't shy about joining the debate. This year's lineup includes U.S. Senate candidates Andy Barr and Charles Booker, along with Democratic candidates for governor Jacqueline Coleman and Rocky Adkins. Watch the Fancy Farm Picnic this Saturday, starting at 2 p.m. on the Fox 56 streaming channel.
Senator Mitch McConnell, of course, remains hospitalized. McConnell's team revealing tonight the senator is not yet medically cleared to return to the Senate following polio complications.
Mitch McConnell owes the people of Kentucky, who are his boss, who have elected him repeatedly, a lot more transparency than this. All we've gotten are 2 photos and statements that virtually anybody could put out there. I mean, he's had a 17-minute conversation with his protege, Scott Jennings, but he can't call in for 3 minutes to Bloomberg or anywhere else, just so we know he still has the capacity. So I sent another letter today demanding that he provide verbal proof that he has the capacity to continue. But I also sent one to John Thune, because as now the majority leader in the Senate, he has a duty too to make sure that all of their members have the capacity and can represent the people of their states. And what I told Leader Thune is there are only 3 ways for a vacancy, to my knowledge, to happen: a resignation, a death, or a vote of expulsion, a vote that there is not capacity from the Senate itself. If Mitch McConnell won't level with the people of Kentucky and the United States. Senator Thune has a duty to do so. A Kentucky constitutional provision that says that I appoint all state officers when there's a vacancy. The question is, does that apply to federal offices? If we end up there, and I hope we don't, there's at least going to be probably a little disagreement. Well, certainly my hope is that Senator McConnell will provide us the assurances that we need. But if he is incapacitated, if there is a vacancy, I will look at my authority as governor to make sure that we are represented as Kentuckians.
Well, do I understand it correctly that August 3rd is a key deadline here, that if Mitch McConnell continues in this capacity through the 3rd, then you will not have an opportunity to name a replacement until an actual election is held?
There's an argument out there that that's a date where I could not later call a special election. And for those that are really pushing this.
Will you challenge that?
Well, a lot of those that are pushing this are online and I think are under the impression that a Democrat in Kentucky might be able to win that election. It's been since 1992 that we have had a Democratic senator in Kentucky. You mentioned a lot of missed votes. I want to point out some other missed votes that might not be a bad thing. He hasn't been there to vote on the SAVE Act, which would tear voting rights away. He hasn't been there to vote to support this war in Iran that this president started and shouldn't be continuing. He's not there to vote for a potential replacement of a Supreme Court justice to continue a court that would tear down the Voting Rights Act. So listen, when you look at some of this, a vacancy, not having Mitch McConnell show up isn't necessarily a bad thing, because he certainly doesn't show up to help the American people.
What up, black folks? Turtle Watch, day 38. These monkey motherfuckers issue another goddamn, what's that, AI photo of the turtle and his wife? These motherfuckers playing in our face, y'all. Mitch McConnell is dead. Dead and gone. We will not hear from that monkey motherfucker ever again. They trying to run out the clock, y'all, so they don't have to have this special election in August. I think it's by August 10th or 13th or some shit. As long as he lived to that day, then they don't have to do some shit. But I guarantee you, once that day passes, they will announce the death of the turtle. These motherfuckers playing in our face, y'all. Mitch McConnell is not only dead, he's probably decomposing at this fucking point, because he's been dead a long fucking time, y'all. The turtle is dead. They hiding it from us, and that's a bad thing. The fact that we won't hear from that monkey motherfucker ever again, that's a good thing. Peace.
Okay, y'all, I'm back again with yet another update in the ongoing saga around Mitch McConnell. On Monday, July 27th, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear sent another letter to McConnell's office demanding some sort of proof of life. Mind you, Beshear also sent a letter a few weeks ago, but that letter was much shorter and essentially just said that they deserve some sort of update, some sort of details, something. Beshear is much more direct in his new letter, which you can pause to read here if you like. In it, Beshear says that McConnell should verbally directly address Kentuckians, and if he is unable to do that, Beshear then calls on Senate Majority Leader John Thune to start investigating McConnell's condition. And if the investigation warrants it, Thune should then begin the process of expelling McConnell, Beshear says. Beshear has faced so many demands over the last several weeks to do something, literally anything about McConnell and McConnell's whereabouts, but his hands are pretty tied around what he as the governor can do. He says in his letter that essentially the only way that Kentuckians can replace McConnell right now is that if he dies, if he resigns, or if he is expelled by the Senate itself. As always, make sure to follow Hellbender Newsroom for more details on Mitch McConnell.
Okay, Kentucky Democratic Governor Andy Beshear is starting to turn up the heat. He said just a little while ago today, it's Tuesday, July 28th, that Senator Mitch McConnell should resign if he can't, quote, directly and verbally address the people of Kentucky, end quote. He says that McConnell should provide proof of your capacity to serve, escalating pressure on the former Republican Senate leader as he continues to recover, allegedly, from a fall that left him hospitalized well over a month ago. A fall. If a little fall, and you said you have no other medical issues, but you're just in physical therapy, and it's been a month, we know you're all lying. Beshear didn't say that, I did. But this is from an article on Politico, and it says that Beshear went on to say, during that time, you have cast 0 votes during the 30 days plus that he's been in the hospital. You've engaged in no official activities, and aside from 2 photos and corresponding statements, have made no effort to communicate with your Kentucky constituents or the nation. As you all know, Mitch McConnell is 84 years old and literally has not been seen or heard from since June 14th, when he supposedly fell at his house, and yet EMT workers radioed to dispatch that the patient had cardiac arrest and they were performing CPR, which Mitch McConnell denied. So I don't know what this all means, but it's coming to a head, and August 4th is the deadline for McConnell to resign or for him to be declared dead, and that Governor Andy Beshear can call for the special election. After that, they do not have to have a special election. They can simply wait until November's midterms. So some people would say, well, so forget it. Stop worrying about it. Just wait until his term runs out. Well, his term doesn't run out until January. And the Republicans are scared to death that if a special election were to occur, that a Democrat would either get in or a Republican who would not vote alongside his or her fellow Republicans. Get those handcuffs ready, because people are breaking lots of laws surrounding Mitch McConnell.
I think the whole thing is stupid. They need to just announce the man is gone already. You know, like I said, when I first heard it, they said cardiac arrest. Then maybe a few weeks later, I heard a fall. Then now, today I heard, oh, he's been having problems with his polio. All right, well, which one is it? Which one is it? And like I said, if he is in that bad of shape, shouldn't he be hooked up to something in these pictures? A heart monitor? If you went, wouldn't they keep a heart monitor? I mean, nothing. You just sitting there like you should be at home. So no, I definitely don't believe any of the pictures they put out. I don't believe any of them. Mm-mm. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I used to call him Mitch Freeze because he would just be freezing at the mic all the time. So he already was not in good shape, and in all honesty, he should have left the Senate 20 years ago, for real. So we'll see what they come up with, y'all, because I don't believe the man is here. I really don't. Lisa Pfeiffer, thank you for the 350 joules finger heart. Thank you so much for your support for my channel. Thank you. So y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Yeah, it's nothing but a geriatric home, up in Congress and the Senate. These people seriously do not want to let go of whatever power they have. They want to hang on for dear life. And I guess Mitch is trying to take his to the graveyard. He gonna stay in power from the graveyard, y'all. All right. So I will see you on the next live, y'all. We're going to talk about the heat wave and wildfire over there in Europe. So I will see you at 6:45. Shalom, family.